In Campbell, West Indies hope, and the two of them together deliver West Indies by far their best day of the series so far. 173 for 2 after being asked to follow on, now less than 100 away from making India bat again in the second test in Delhi. Aakash Chopra with us on ESPN Cricket for match day, and I think it's worth celebrating West Indies for the day that they've had, which felt a long way beyond them even halfway through this day when they were asked to follow on. So let's go straight into John Campbell and Shea Hope and this effort of resistance which has really stood out.
Yeah, a lot of resilience. Both of them came out with a game plan that was commendable because you can't just survive on a surface which is not really bad to bat, but there is enough for the bowlers to extract something and extract a dismissal. Something that happened during the first innings where Kuldeep took a 5-for, Jadeja took a 3-for. You know that there is some assistance and it is a deteriorating pitch. But Campbell was outstanding to begin with. A very countered that rough outside is off with a very clear-cut game plan. A long stride that took him outside the off stump. Which eventually helped him a lot. Then he was willing to sweep, something that didn't work out in the first innings, got caught by Sai Sudarshan, but this time the sweeping was brilliant. Used his feet, or rather used the aerial route as and when he could. I thought he had a very clear-cut game plan to counter the Indian spinners, and it was brilliant. And Shea Hope tinkered his batting style a little bit, not the style maybe, but just the subtlety in terms of where he was standing and how he was responding. And he got to bat twice in the same day. It doesn't happen often, and he must be relieved that he didn't get dismissed twice in the same day.
Yeah, and also relieved that he did this time cross that mark of 50 for the first time in Test since 2019. From everything you said, positivity in approach, which is something Ian Bishop pointed at the end of the first Test, that a lot of the conversation from the West Indian camp has been about wanting to have a more positive approach in Test cricket to survive better. This was the first real glimpse of that.
Yes, and you can only survive. Yes, you need positivity, but you also need the skills to execute the positive plans that you might have. So in John Campbell, you saw that he had those plans, but he also is a good sweeper of the cricket ball, that he is able to sweep it really well. He had a good gauge of the length, what to go back to and what to play forward to. And of course, immense confidence and belief in his own defense, because you can't always just sweep your way out of trouble. You need to defend. And he was willing to defend without worrying about the fact that it might get an outside edge or an inside edge to the short leg fielder. He wasn't bothered. So positivity is just one part of the story, which is about the mindset. But when you're averaging in mid-20s over an extended period of time, it cannot just be about your mindset. It requires skill as well. And that skill was there on show, which actually pleases me a lot more.
Yeah, and together, Campbell and Hope stitching what is the first century stand for West Indies in Tests this year. That's just how tough it has been for West Indies. It also helps change the conversation a bit, because had West Indies had 4 blowouts, you're looking at a very harsh conversation. Now there is some positivity.
Yeah, that's true actually, and they should build on this, because see, let's be honest, a lot of teams have travelled to India, barring New Zealand. Everybody else has found it very difficult to survive, and we are talking about the top tier test teams that play a lot more test cricket and have got in terms of resources a lot more as compared to the West Indies. So from that standpoint as well, they pushed India. They're still pushing India, at least this partnership. And if they continue in the same fashion, which I dare say won't be that easy or straightforward, but at least they have given themselves a chance and an opportunity to talk positively and also plan for the future. If you just go absolutely doing nothing from a tour, then you only talk about change and churn. Here you will at least talk about somewhat continuity and stability.
All right. Looking at India's bowling in the second innings, your thoughts on the effort so far? Have you found anything lacking?
Well, I think tiredness towards the end. Something that stood out, because India declared when all of us were thinking that India might actually bat for a little longer. So that meant that they had to bowl a lot of overs on day 1, then rather day 2, their day 1 of bowling, and then the entire day of day 3. It is hard work on a surface which is not the spin ready, which is made of black soil, black clay, and not red soil. So there is less bounce, less pace, less sideways movement of the surface for spinners and fast bowlers alike. Eventually you felt that Kuldeep Yadav, the 5-wicket taker in the first innings, was actually dropping the ball a little too short for his liking as well. So there were tired shoulders towards the end.
I know hindsight makes everything easier to dissect, but would you have considered not enforcing the follow-on?
I was I was 50-50. I was in two minds whether you should enforce the follow on or you should not. That's a call that has to be taken basis. What do you think that the pitch is doing at this point in time? Do we have, and the second part, how tired are our bowlers? How many overs have been bowled? And to be fair, India playing 5 proper bowlers with Nitish Kumar Reddy as an option. They must have felt that, everybody has got enough gas in the tank, so why bother? And there is enough to suggest that we can roll them over again. So I can understand the thought, but yes, I think first declaration was a little too soon. Second time also, India could have batted and then allowed the pitch to deteriorate a little further, and then could have actually wrapped up things quite easily.
As things stand, in West Indies' second innings, Yashasvi Jaiswal has got a bowl before Nitish Kumar Reddy. We will come back to Reddy and whether he gets a bowl later in this game. But let's go back to the start of the day, which saw India bowl West Indies out for cheap. West Indies losing their last 6 wickets for 108. And that was primarily a function of Kuldeep Yadav, who gets a 5-4 after a while. Dharamshala 2024. What stood out for you?
Again, the consistency with which he's bowled, it is not your typical surface where, or rather, let's put it this way, that it is not the surface that Kuldeep would love because it has no bounce or pace and he relies on it. But once that's not the case, he has to beat the batter in the air, where you're able to pitch the ball in areas where they are not 100% certain. Everything finished within the stumps as well. That was another thing that was highlighted, because edges are not going to carry till slips. There is not enough bite where bad ball is going towards short leg or silly point. So if that's the case and the opponent are not really stepping down the pitch, then you have to continuously drag the batter forward and make them play from there, and making sure that you're still finishing within the stumps. A nice usage of the crease as well. That Shea Hope dismissal come to mind, where he went around the stumps, changed the angle, came back over the stumps. He just ended up playing down the wrong line. I thought was a function of him changing the angles.
All right. Quick rapid fires to end this up. Will India bat again?
Yes.
Will this game go to day 5?
No.
All right. We'll leave it there. Thank you.